Good morning. I'm Dan Larson, and I'll be your host for today's Quiet Echo. Tommy and I were on a job site last week. He was running the laser level on a foundation layout, and I was watching him from across the lot. Not supervising, just watching. He was doing it the way you do it when you know how. Steady, no wasted motion, checking his numbers twice without being told. I have watched a lot of young men come through my crews. Most of them get there eventually. Tommy got there early. He has been on job sites with me since he could carry a tool bag without tipping over. He is 18 now. He graduates in May. He is becoming a man in front of me, and I keep noticing it. I was driving home from the site Tuesday evening when the radio mentioned the selective service. The report was brief. Starting in December, eligible men between 18 and 25 will be automatically registered for a possible military draft through federal databases. No form to fill out. The government will find them. I turned the radio down. I drove the rest of the way thinking about Tommy with the laser level, about how steady he was, about what it means for a name to go on a list. I want to be clear about something before I go further. Registration is not a draft. The United States has not drafted soldiers since 1973. Bringing back a draft would require separate action by Congress and the President. Tommy is being placed on a list in the event of a national emergency severe enough to require conscription. He is not being called up. I understand the distinction. I have been sitting with what it means anyway, because here is what I keep coming back to. Karen Ames has been on the Cedar Valley Fire Department for 11 years. I built her family's house. I have watched her pull on gear and go toward things other people run from. Nobody in this town questions whether she belongs there. Last November, the church I belong to announced young women may serve full-time missions at 18, the same age as young men. The evening the announcement came, I went and found Grace in her room. She is my 5th child. She turned 16 last month. I told her about the change. She looked up and said, "So I could go when I graduate?" I said yes. She nodded and went back to what she was doing. But I saw what crossed her face before she did. She has been watching the doors. She has been keeping track of which ones open for her and which ones do not. A man I respect, a good man, someone I have worked alongside for years, told me this week he thinks women should stay off the draft list. His reason was simple. Women bear children. You do not put the people who carry the next generation on a list for conscription. I have heard this argument before, and I do not dismiss it. He meant it seriously, and I took it seriously. But Karen Ames does not have children. Neither does the woman who flew helicopters for the Army for 8 years and now runs a company in Denver. Neither does the Peace Corps volunteer who built water systems in West Africa, came home, and ran for city council. The argument tries to reach for a principle and ends up landing on a category. The category does not hold every woman I know. Congress tucked the automatic registration requirement inside a defense bill. No hearings, no floor debate. The question of whether women should be included was raised and set aside. Not resolve, set aside. In 30 years of building things, I have learned one thing about set-aside questions. They do not go away. They wait in the wall until the house settles. Rebecca was reading when I came in from the truck. I sat down and told her what was on my mind. She listened all the way through. When I finished, she said, "You should ask Grace." I found Grace at the kitchen table. I sat across from her. I told her about the law. I told her Tommy's name would go on the list in December. I told her hers would not. She put her pen down. She looked at the table for a moment. Then she looked at me. She said, "I think I would want it to be my choice." I wrote it down. Rebecca says put it on paper before you lose it, and she is right about most things. Grace was not saying she wants to be drafted. She was not making a policy argument. She was saying something simpler yet harder than either of those. She was saying, if there is a weight to be carried in this country, I want to be the one who decides whether I carry it. I do not want to be handed an exemption before I have had the chance to answer the question myself. I have been building things in Cedar Valley for 30 years. I have asked a lot of people to carry their share. The ones who do it best are not the ones who are required to. They are the ones who chose. They showed up because they decided to. The decision is worth something. It changes what the work means to them and what they bring to it. Grace already knows this. She learned it here. I'm not sure what the correct answer is for the selective service. I know both my children are watching what we decide, and I trust Cedar Valley to have something worth saying about it. If you have an opinion on this, the Cedar Valley News Facebook group is open. I will be reading. I will put the link in the show notes. This is Dan Larson, your host for today's Quiet Echo. Thanks for listening. Quiet Echo is part of the fictional Cedar Valley News series, written by Evan Swenson, publisher, publication consultants, and Claude Marshall, AI developmental editor. While the people and town of Cedar Valley are fictional, the Selective Service Automatic Registration Law, the missionary age announcement, and all service program details referenced are real and accurate as of April 10, 2026.
You've been listening to the Cedar Valley News Podcast, where small-town voices meet the headlines shaping our world. From faith and family to front porches and fields. We'll be back with more stories connecting real lives to real events. Until next time, keep your porch light on, your faith strong, and your heart open. This is Cedar Valley News.